Oh, we're live.
Oh, we are.
Live. We're doing Novak News. Lovely Kim Patterson has joined me today.
Hello.
Tonight, guys. Sorry, not today. Tonight, I'm losing track of time. We are going to be talking about Brookvale, the king of commercial. Let us get right to it in just a tick. Oh, here we are. Oh, look at me. It looks like I'm missing teeth.
Terminator.
Oh, goodness me. Kim Patterson, the lovely Kim Patterson, thank you for joining me this evening. Nathan. Oh, goodness me. I think this is an interesting one. Guys, Brookvale, that's Brookie behind us, FYI. A suburb that we've grown to love, we've grown to really appreciate in all its entirety. In the past I'd say 12 to 24 months that I've been exposed to Brookvale, because, mind you, I didn't know what the Northern Beaches was once upon a time. Born and raised in Melbourne over here. So,
You're doing all right.
Done all right. Dive deep into the commercial side of things here. And wow, Brookvale. You know more about it than me, though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely changed. I've had family that lived in Brookvale. My dad lived there when it was paddocks, and it was very different. There's still a lot of the old buildings, or they look like actually houses, which they were converted into factories and warehouses.
Wow.
But no, definitely changed.
So I'd assume then, and a little bit of fun fact, they would have been there when Brookvale was called Greendale.
Greendale. Yeah, I think that was even before.
Wow, even before.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's definitely ran its course, and it continues to run its course, leading into now 2022. I, for one, or the both of us now, so commercially heavily involved in the market here, seeing how things have changed. I'd say we're almost proud to say, wow, we can experience Brookvale coming to be such an incredible suburb. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was the ugly duckling. I'd say it was probably the suburb that people just knew, for one, being such a heavily industrial area. And seeing now the culture or the trend that it's starting to create. I mean, I was just having it's so popular. It's so, like, we were just doing some figures before. In Brookvale, there's only 6 industrial buildings for sale. And 2 of them are freestanding. And how many is there in total? I think it's about just over. There's about 1,200 properties in Brookvale, and that's all we've got on the market right now to even muck around. Yeah, the same with lease. We had there's 14 industrial properties for lease, and only 4 freestanding. But it's so busy when you walk down there. You don't see any of these empty places. You don't, and everything. It's quite incredible how Brookvale is, the way the lanes are, the way it's structured. You could almost name Brookvale just by about four streets or 4 roads that are located on it. But it's just, when for one, like going through Brookvale, especially on a weekend, you start to see now people, almost clans of people, and they're bouncing around from brewery the brewery, and that's what it's become so heavily invested in, is creating this culture around getting a cold one in you. And it looks as if there's about, I think, roughly about 7 breweries in Brookie now, and they're still coming. Good night, guys. Good night. So it's pretty incredible to see, but it's also even fun, and as we were speaking off air with Mark earlier, is this Brookvale master plan. And I think a lot of people by now have started to catch drift on it all, how it's literally going to reshape Brookvale forever. Yeah. It won't just be known as this industrial site anymore. It will literally evolve to the point where you will have, of course, still the industrial, but you will be, the amount of jobs that were created as far as retail, as far as, transgressing still in the industrial side of it all. But it's even opening opportunities for more housing, and even, going higher up as far as height goes, 11 meters was, and also the housing, what we were talking about before, it was like another 2,000 and 1,700 jobs could be created. It's unbelievable. So it's something for, I think, a lot of people to be mindful of, and when you're looking at suburbs, and we're making reflection as well over to a suburb like Alexandria, for instance, that once upon a time was a suburb that no one really drew attention to. It was overlooked.
And I think it's government then going, hey, you know what? If that's the case, let's just throw something at it. Let's see if we can bring some life to it. And it's exactly what happened. And so to the point now where that's the same thing that's happened in a suburb like Brookvale, and you'd learn to really appreciate it more, and hence why I use the title for Ugly Duckling.
Well, everyone wants to be in Brookvale.
Yeah,
you and Mark just recently sold those 2 factories. We had so much interest. Like everyone wants to be in Brookvale. And yeah, just like you were saying before, when I went to one of the breweries or 3 of the breweries on the weekend on Sunday, and normally you'd walk down the street in Brookvale. Years ago, it was so quiet, but it was packed. I couldn't park.
I've been speaking to a lot of owners as of recent times, and the funny thing they'll say is every second or third property you'd walk by through Brookvale in the recent years, it would be for lease or for sale, for lease or for sale. And now you look and it's people knocking on our doors, or it's people bloody giving us a call going, hey, so we're after about 100 to 150 square meters in Brookvale, warehouse space, a little bit of office. You got anything like that? You got to say, I'm sorry, but you got to get in line because there's about 50 to 100 other people that are waiting for the exact same thing. But when we're looking at the avenues of things like breweries, it adds that really exciting element. I think one of the more interesting concepts that have been brought to Brookvale was this Kiss My Axe, which is really cool.
That's popular too.
So, it's adding that element of, retail. It's adding that element of fun, people coming together, almost like that artsy kind of a vibe as well. As Kim mentioned earlier about the warehouses that Mark and I had sold, they weren't your typical heavy industrial sites. They believe it or not, were more like your light industrial. They almost look like something that came out of New York, for instance. If you were in a loft, I'd say upstairs looked unbelievably livable.
Super modern, weren't they?
Super modern. And you had, the really classy, groovy warehouse component below. So it lends itself to a whole different pool of, I'd say, buyers or people looking to lease, for instance. It's your creative art spaces. It's your photographers.
Jess was saying that she gets jewelry made, and there's a beautician down there as well, and then in the heart of industrial areas.
So
nothing's off limits. Really.
Definitely not. And seeing something like that grow. I think hence why we've titled tonight's conversation Brookvale, the King of Commercial. We spend a lot of the time on the ground. We spend a lot of the time speaking with locals. And when you go through a suburb like Brookvale, you're not talking to, corporate, you're not talking to a group of people. You're talking to these people that have been there for in excess of 10, 15, borderline 20 years.
Even longer.
Even longer,
some of the properties have been passed down. Like they could be, we've had some owners have had them for 50 years too, so even longer.
Unbelievable. And when you look at that, you can really see how the community will remain that close-knit feel that it's obviously had throughout the course of time. What else do you think about Brookvale moving forward?
I love Brookvale. No, there's a lot of history in Brookvale. It's really,
And with now you being more drawn into the leasing component of it all with commercial, do you feel as if it's going to be a lot easier to lease out properties in Brookvale?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definly.
Excellent.
Well, everyone wants to be there.
Everyone wants to be there. It's the place to be. I mean, I for one with Brookvale last year, there were a number of warehouses, there were a number of office spaces that were leased. I was really inundated last year, I think, with a lot of people looking to bring that next fun brewery to the site, or a distillery actually.
Yeah. Well, it's like the mini Hunter Valley for breweries, isn't it?
Everyone likes to get on their grog around here. That's what I got.
Well, there's the gin distilleries.
True. I think another interesting one that we probably haven't touched on tonight is the fact that a lot of gyms like to make their way out to Brookvale as well. I think that's another one I get inundated with, is people wanting to bring on the next big gym. So, when we're looking at the topic, when we're looking at the whole of the suburb, it really offers a lot of jobs. It's not one that is scarce in that part of it all.
It's the major employment.
Which is fantastic, and that's what you want to continue to see. And being in conjunction with a suburb like DY, which we're in, it really complements the area really well, I think. But yeah,
and plans going forward, like with all the new housing and new roads, and Light rail, maybe.
Imagine. I definitely won't have a place if that's going to happen, because I know definitely where the place I live in is situated. It's definitely going to have to be probably knocked out and made way for something something to make, I think, life a lot easier for some. Look, this is your first time joining us, and I think
I'm a bit camera shy. If you haven't already noticed.
I think you've done really well. I think during the conversation I've been losing teeth. But no, look, Kim and I typically have a ton of laughs throughout the course of what we do throughout the day as far as commercial goes. I call Kim the storyteller, and I think anyone can vouch for that in the office. You know, she always has a story to tell when it comes to any part of the Northern Beaches. I think when we're driving by, you know, with Mark in the van, you definitely pick out as well. You're like, oh, hey, remember that? Do you think you have a story for me right now that you can think of?
What can I think of with Brookvale?
Yeah, Brookie. Because dad.
Yeah, my dad lived in Orchard Road, so 15 Orchard Road. When there was all paddocks, and he used to play with all the other kids. There was a lot of Italians that moved to Brookvale, which is still around. Brookvale, there's a lot of big Italian families. It's
definitely
still property there. But he was naughty though. There's a lot of naughty stories.
Do we keep it PG? We probably have to keep it PG.
No, he did tell me he watched all the trucks when they were building Warringah Mall.
Wow.
And all the trucks with all the dirt filling, because it was a bit swampy down there in the day. So he watched hundreds of trucks going past.
See, that's interesting. I love that, you know, and I got to bring Kim with me more to our commercial appointments, because these are the things I think get properties leased or sold. So you got to keep an eye on this space.
Oh, I have got another one. My mum's pets are buried in the back of a property. I won't say the address, but in Brookvale, where she used to live. There's a factory over the top of them now. But.
Wow. Okay. So whoever owns that factory, I really hope it's treating you well. You know, you're not getting haunted by some zombie pets or anything like that. But look, I think we're going to wrap tonight up, guys, with saying that Brookvale is a suburb essentially full of incredible opportunity moving forward. It's there, it's happening.
More to come.
Absolutely. I encourage everyone to literally hop online, and I think it'd be handy as well. We might even chuck it in the comments section at the end of this video, is looking at the Brookvale Master Plan, looking at what's to happen in the coming years, because people have been desperately anticipating something like this and ensuring that they too can get in on the action as far as the development goes. So thank you for joining me.
That's okay.
You're welcome. And literally to everyone that's joined us, thank you so much. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next Monday Night News. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye.